Greetings everyone, Nate the Nerdarchy here from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, and today we're playing Episode 1 of the Hold of the Moridanes campaign, and with me, I have a selection of adventurers.
Alright, I'm playing Silverthorn, a female wild elf ranger. She was forced to leave her tribe through circumstances she's really not prepared to talk about right now, and she's off looking for some great evil to hunt.
Hi, I'm playing a cleric of life half-elf named Bard. He had a bit of trouble going through his trials, and now he's a germaphobe and has been spending most of his time in the library.
I am playing Kane Donaden, a male mountain dwarf fighter who is currently on leave from his military company due to events he really doesn't want to talk about either. So he's trying to find himself a bit, and currently he's just finding himself in a tavern.
I'm Ben Murchison. I'm playing Gambit Fireshine, the forest gnome, and he's just stumbled out of the Feywild. He's been trapped in for long and is coming to refine the world a little bit.
I am Erevan Fireforge, a half-elf sorcerer, guild merchant. Recently had some issues with Caverstead house and is looking for his fortune on the road.
So you are all in a place called Stationton, which is a small town, not a city, but it is a waypoint between two major cities, the port city of Dresden and the city-state of Astoria to the north. And the premise is that many years ago there was a powerful clan of dwarves, the Moridanes, who crafted amazing items of might and magic, known throughout the area for their craft. Some say it was they who made the Merchant Circle Road to help them sell their wares throughout the area and along the budding city-states along that route. So you have all, through one successful plan, unfortunate mishap, betrayal, or stunning defeat, have landed yourself on the Merchant Circle near Stationton, which is one of the nicer scenic waypoints along the long curved loop of the Merchant Circle Road. Just to give an idea of geography, there's Dresden to the south, about a 7-day wagon ride. There is Astoria to the north. It's about a fortnight of travel to get there. Well, no, it's actually another 7 days to travel to there. And then you have the farms and homesteads to the west, as well as beyond that the nomadic tribes, the Wild Elves. And then beyond that you have the Chaos Waste, which is many a weeks away travel, and who the heck wants to go there anyway? And to the east, about 2 weeks, about a little bit under a fortnight, you have the Moridane Mountains, where you would just enter the mountain range of that. And deep within the Moridane Mountains is the 3 peaks of the old Moridanes. Though many people say they've seen it, pictures of it, but they've never actually, and drawings of it, but they've never actually been. Because it is a dangerous trek to get there, and since no one has seen the Moridanes for a very long time, some people, especially humans, don't even think the Moridanes existed. It's something that the dwarves tell stories of to make them sound cooler than they actually are right now, and more bolsterous than they are right now. So that is where we begin. I know that some of you like the library, and I know that some of you are in the tavern, so I would say it's up to you for what you want to do right now.
Well, I suppose I'll go to the tavern looking for rumors of any sort of trouble I can get myself into. Or not that I'm going to get into, just want to stick my nose into, I should say.
That's right, you're on a quest to find terrible things.
Well, I am on a quest to stay away from terrible things, which is why I am in the tavern and have been probably for a couple of hours. I've been contemplating trying to find a load to fill the wagon I bought, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So if anyone comes in, he'll probably be sitting at a table in a corner somewhere with a small little glass that looks something like this in front of him, and he's just kind of staring blankly, unless occasionally he'll look up at music or whatever the entertainment happens to be. Otherwise, she's quite content to just be.
Well, do I see him when I go in?
Yeah, there's a good crowd there, mostly farmers. You can see several of the more well-to-do merchants and their entourage up in the second tier of the building. It's open so that you can still see them, but they're kind of closed off and separated from the general commoners, regulars of the tavern. As you enter, you see that along the wall, it is fall and it is a bit chilly today. So they have the grand fireplace has some logs in it, and to the left you can see the bar where you can order food, and behind that is the kitchen. And then there are several tables and stools and chairs throughout.
Right, well, I walk up to Kenny's table. Well, howdy there, Kenny. Long time no see.
Well, I did not think to see you here. What brings you into the civilized country?
Civilized? Oh, you mean these city folk? Well, I just sort of have to go on what you call a little walkabout. Tribal business, you understand. Don't really want to go into it. Figure I'm just trying to find out if there's any word or rumors of trouble around here. Might want to stick my nose into it if I find any.
Oh, well, I must say that I've been a bit out of the loop in the trouble business recently, due to matters I don't feel like talking about yet, but I'm on a bit of a leave from the Three Peaks Company at the moment. Trying to find cargo for my wagon, but so far, just haven't seemed to have been able to get away from the table for very long to find any.
Let me see I understand this correctly. You say you lost something from your wagon?
No, I lost something, but I've been trying to find something to fill my wagon with since I'm on leave and I don't have kind of at loose ends. I don't have anything to wake up to do in the morning. So I thought maybe I'd do what all these other fools have been doing that I've been guarding over the years and fill my wagon with some sort of cargo and see what it's like to do that.
Well, you mind if I share your table? Getting my peckish right now. Might want to get a little something to gnaw on.
Sit right down. It's been a while since I've seen you. It's been a few years.
There it has.
Well, here's to reacquainting. Slancha.
Well, if I could have anything to drink with, I'd toast back at you. I understand that's the custom.
Well, we can fix that. I'll raise my hand and have the barmaid bring over whatever Silverthorn would like.
I figure I'll order an ale.
All right. She says, right away. And she goes off, and you can see her conversing with Gerald, the master of the inn. He's a pretty large man. He keeps clean, but you can tell that he's had a hard day because as his day wears on, the harder the day, it seems that the more stained his apron gets. Yeah, even though he does not. He cleans it every other day, so it's been a rough day with the amount of stains on it. So
Nate,
he brings over the ale and sets it down in front of you and gives you a nod and walks off.
Well, now I'll return Kenny's toast, and I guess I'll just sort of wait and see what happens.
All right, Kelly, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was saying that I would be up with the merchants up on the second tier, talking to them, trying to find a deal at this point in time. So I don't know who's up there, so you can tell me.
Okay, now I had one question. What kind of?
Yeah.
You said you have a horse, right?
Yes, just a horse and saddlebags.
Okay, so you're kind of light cargo right now if you were to carry something.
Yep, I'm just trying to find things that I can deal with, and if I need to have bulk items, then I would talk to someone to help me with that.
Okay, there are several merchants there. They do tend to keep to themselves, but once they notice that you start speaking the lingo, they want to settle down and see where you're headed. Several of them are dressed in very bright fabrics, with some kind of hat or scarf draped down across their face.
Yeah, I'm in all blue. Like my entire outfit is blue. My boots are blue. I am dressed entirely like that. Just looking for a deal down the road at times. I had a deal that I just concluded here, so trying to find a new deal down the road.
So
I don't know what's available.
So one of the things you do notice is while the first two merchants you were introduced to, there is a third that they were conversing with, and you do notice a very familiar patch insignia. Now, you know that family, not everybody knows your name kind of thing, but you're probably not interested in talking with him.
Probably not.
Yes.
So I'm going to definitely not be talking to him. So
Okay. So
just avoiding that, but trying to find, talk up the, different deals and what might be available here and what might be available to the next stop down the line, maybe to Dresden or Astoria, depends on what the next town is.
you're going to be busy up there?
Yep, that's what I'm doing. And I'll order drinks for the gentleman that I'm talking to, of course.
Okay.
Good stuff, not the riffraff stuff.
Well, Khalil and Hadain are the two up there that you're speaking with.
Okay. All right.
They seem
Great.
very cordial once they realize that you are also a merchant in your fine blue clothes. And
Okay. Thank you.
they say, so what kind of items are you interested in moving?
I would like to move things that are not bulky at this point, although I can arrange for bulkier items. Wanted to make sure that we all come up with a good plan to go to the next town. I'm kind of at loose ends at the moment.
Well, if you do not have much capacity, perhaps you are interested in moving some higher priced goods. If you,
Of course.
If you have your hand on any right now, we would happily take it off of your hands to take to the port city where we are headed. Perhaps we are going to be here about a week. We're having a stay. There is an issue with scheduling. We're waiting for a shipment to come before we head to Dresden. So perhaps if you find anything in the next week, you can be interested in saving yourself a trip to Dresden, and we'll take it for you.
Okay, I'll keep my ears open and I will let you know. Of course, for a finder's fee.
Oh, of course. And they drink for a little bit more, and then they give you. Well, would you like to meet our associate? He is also going on the trek.
Just a question. Do I know him?
No, you haven't seen him before, but you know the mountain cave of gold is definitely that insignia that you're not interested in hanging around with, the Caverstead.
Of course, I'd like to meet your associate.
He says, "Oh, come on over." So he introduces you. He says, "This is our esteemed colleague, Baron," and Baron gives you a nod. And he says, "Baron, this man is a merchant as ourselves, and he is interested in possibly acquiring some hard-to-find items for us."
Nice to meet you. I am Ervan Fireforge.
Pleasure, he says. They all have a very similar accent, and you suspect it's from. You were familiar with this accent. It's from the area where you have met traders every once in a while from Calistorin, where you're from, that they have that accent as well. So you do some small chat with them for a little bit longer, and I'm gonna shift aside.
Yep, of course.
Are you done in your library yet?
Well, yeah, I guess it's getting late. I can get over to the tavern to get something to eat. Maybe somebody want to hear some stories or something.
The librarian, who seems to always be there and always present, Helen, she is been giving you the eye, like, are you going to leave soon? It's time to close up the Abbey. The Abbey is there's a library section to the Stone Abbey, and it's the Astor Abbey, which has been, many people say it has been there for as long as Stationton has been there, or perhaps even longer. And it used to be a noble's retreat house, and part of the library, the Noble House of Astor, has given the library up to be used for the people in the area, as well as any visiting merchants or nobles. So as long as you pass identification and get your card, then you're able to present it and use the library. So it's about a 20-minute trek, but it's very uneventful from the Astor Abbey to the way station. And as you come upon the way station, you notice that there is the sign of the little painted inn and the very long stretch of road and the wagon on the other side. Safe harbor for merchants in the area. The way station on the way to Dresden or Astoria, whichever is your preference. And as you enter, you see what I described earlier. The stone hearth there's a fire in the stone hearth. There are many tables and chairs, half of which are occupied by common folk. Up above is the merchants that frequent the area, as this being a way station town. Gerald is the barkeep.
All right. Well, I'll approach. I won't go up and like physically touch the bar or anything, but wave to him and ask for a meal and some ale, and take a spot over in a corner,
All right.
like on the side of the bar.
He gives you a nod, like, "Ah, yes, you. Hello, Bard." Gives you the impression that you're not his favorite person, but he likes that you're here. So he's kind of neutral when he speaks to you. He's not as boisterous as he is with some of his closer friends. So as you sit down in the corner area, you are brought some food, which is soup and stew, with some bread and a pint of ale. And you've learned that they keep this place kind of clean, but for you, is anything really clean enough? So you can go about your normal rituals for eating.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to. I'll probably sweep off the seat before I even sit down, kind of deal. Clean up the table a little bit before they even bring the food, and then I'll have to make sure the bread's sitting in the soup. It's off to the side by itself, stuff like that.
They know your particularities, so they tend to keep that separate for you, as you like it. The crowd continues to come in, wax and wane as the minutes go by. People come in just for a drink or just to say hi and converse, because they come out from the west, from the farmsteads and other places to just get news of the day, news of the week, news of the month for some of them. And Ben, you're up. What would you like to do?
Yeah, you could probably find Gambit at the tavern as well. He'd be looking around and conversing with the locals, and he'd probably notice Silverthorn and Kenai there and make his way over, having noticed them around before.
Feel free to converse amongst yourselves.
Well, hey there, Gambit. How's it going?
Friend Gambit, nice to see you.
Yes,
Your accent is a little thick. I couldn't understand you.
yeah, he'll order what they're having and shoot the shit for a while and see what is to be done.
Well, I'll ask Gambit if he's heard any rumors of any sort of troubles going on in their area. Same as I always do. He's a forest gnome. He may know something about what's going on.
No, but you've piqued my curiosity. A few places we might. The track is in order of a journey.
Well, I'm not sure that I want to find that sort of trouble again anytime soon. And since we're sitting at a table that asks few questions, we'll leave it at that. And he kind of stares off into the distance and just sips in his little cup.
A dwarf with a little cup.
It's not a full-on head flagon, that's for sure. He's
No,
pacing him.
you drink a head flagon of this stuff, and you'll end up somewhere you don't know where you're at. And it might be a week later.
I'll have a little whiff, and I'll say, yeah, stronger than most.
The bar keeps it back for us when we come into town. It's good for what ails you. Well, it's good for what ails me. But, to each his own.
Yeah, Silverthorn will just be sipping at her ale. She doesn't really order the food too much here because if she really gets hungry, she'll just go outside town and get something. But she has to pay enough to for the tavern keeper to let her stay.
Mm. Yeah, a few ales will do that. Every hour or so, an ale will do that.
And she'll just keep listening to see if she can pick up any sort of conversations that sound interesting.
Well, you hear a lot about different things going on in the woods. There's going to be a good mushroom hunt soon going on in the next week or two, based on when it rains.
That doesn't sound exciting.
There's no evil mushroom hunts.
I tend to gather a few.
Yes, so probably piques the gnome's interest and a few others. The farmers, the normal talk about crops and other things, and if it rains too soon, is that going to be better or worse for the grain? And youngins are getting into discussions with a pretty heated discussion at the time about those kind of things. So normal, country discussions on farming and the weather.
Well, speaking of the weather, I'm sure that some of them are speculating as to whether or not it's going to be a hard winter or not. And if any of them are nearby, I'll lean over to them and say, well, back in the tribe I was with, we had a way of telling whether or not it was going to be a hard winter.
Oh, really? How's that?
We just go over to the nearest human settlement and see how big their wood pile is. If it's a big wood pile, it's a hard winter.
And he looks like he's about to say something, but he goes, "Oh, perhaps you're right." What do you think, Paul? And then they get into a discussion. It's like, oh, that's ridiculous because, sometimes you just prepare because you want more wood because you don't feel like cutting it next season.
I tell you, it always works.
Well, if a farmer's been the one making the decisions on the winter, then how does that work out on how can we tell then? And they go back and forth a bit trying to figure that out. All of a sudden, you see a woman come in. She's in a long tunic, and she has auburn style, dark auburn hair, and she has a lot of dirty, muddied up leather under outfit and boots as well. And she is currently holding a staff. Well, actually, it's not a staff; it's a shovel. She is speaking heatedly with somebody by the door. If you overhear the conversation, hear her say, "Now, I don't know who did it, but somebody took my black gold, and there's going to be problems if we don't find out who it's been." And she starts looking around suspiciously around the room.
Did you say black gold or black goat?
Gold. But a black goat might be a problem, too.
See what she might be meaning by that?
But you want to go speak with her about that?
Just if I've ever heard of any reference to black gold before, if I could try anything about that.
Yes, actually, because you are towards the southeast from this town, or that's where you originally were from. And
Okay.
A little bit north of you, there was a depressed valley area before you start getting into the high slopes of the mountains. And there is a swamp where they cut with a saw, cut into the peat and take it aside, and they usually ship it up. Well, some of the merchants might know where they take it, but you know that they cart that stuff around as if it's worth actual gold coins.
Okay, so I'll share with that somebody might have plundered her peat bog.
Now, and you hear her say, "I had just left it out, right outside the door, here by the wagon station, and it is now looked like as if a whole bunch of grubbers came along and took it all. I left tracks everywhere." like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe it's happening here in Stationton. So she goes back out in a huff. And you know the place she's talking about. It's right down the way past the Smith's place, towards where you would hold all the farrier stuff and all of the equipment to deal with horses and wagons.
Well, stolen dirt isn't exactly a great world-threatening evil, but it's a quiet night in the tavern. And she did mention tracks, so I'll go on mosey on out and see if I can catch up to her.
Yeah, there's definitely been no flying black evilness about, so...
That's just the way I like it. I'll just continue petting my dog, sipping my drink, and enjoying not dealing with whatever it is I don't want to deal with.
Ah, come on, Kenny. Maybe she'll pay you to haul her black gold off.
Well, it would be a cargo.
You have heard that people do cut it like bricks and ship it up to... Oh, you know that they ship it up to places like Astoria, where they sell it to the noble houses for their gardens.
Things that nobles will buy.
They pay gold.
I could actually.
Gold for dirt. That sounds good.
Bard, what did you say?
I was actually kind of interested in the tracks and stuff. Is it alright if I go look from a distance? I don't want to get too close to the dirt and soot, but try to figure out what's going on a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Like if it's a certain insect or something.
Kelly, you would have finished up with your merchant discussions.
Yeah.
So you're free to do whatever. They're not holding you. They've got their own kind of like business to attend to, and you kind of got that vibe from them that they wanted to kind of talk shop with the people that they were actually had contracts with currently.
Black gold sounds like a good deal to try to figure out. So I'm going to go out and see what's going on.
Well, seeing this general stampede going towards the outside to figure out how to follow these plain as day tracks, why not? Let's go. Damsels in distress and all.
Kinnaid! Is that you? Didn't know you were in town.
I didn't know you were either. What are you doing here? Last I heard, you were being chased from... Anyway, we're not asking questions today. What are you doing? You're trying to work some deal?
Aren't I always?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, she seems to be needing some assistance, so maybe I can help.
Well, she did seem to be your type, so, you know. And I'm sure that the mention of black gold, your ears perked up, so.
Most definitely.
Well, you eager types go along, and I'll follow behind.
Oh, come along. You know you want to do something. You've been sitting there. Looks like you've been doing your normal and sitting around, having your libations.
Sometimes that's the best thing. But I'll keep
Come on.
But I'll
You
keep
need to move too.
My dog, I need to walk the dog anyway.
There you go.
Drew needs a bit of a stretch. And getting up off the floor from the table, at the table next to him, he does have a Mastiff dog named that he just tells you his name is Drew. And he's not a war dog. He's a camp companion kind of dog, about 8 or 9 years old. You know, not in the best of shape, but he's a friendly dog. Maybe he'll guard something, but we're out for a walk.
Oh, maybe he could sniff out the poachers.
If only someone had trained him to do that, that would be great. But we'll see. He's just along to ramble.
All right. So as you go out of the front large doorway of Way Station Inn, you see Darline, that was her name. She is now headed around, kind of talking to people as she comes by them, and asking if they've seen anything. So you can see her kind of stoop down to talk to some of the younger kids, like, oh, have you seen anything about? She's gesturing different directions, kind of describing what's going on, and she is slowly making her way back towards the stable area.
Well, I call after her and say, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am, ma'am. You were saying something about someone stole something from you?"
First off, I'm no ma'am, I'm a miss. But secondly, yes, someone has made off with my haul of peat that I had. Well, I had 2 hauls, but I just set the one out just right here, and she's pointing down the lane, right outside the wagon house. So there should have been no problems, right? There ain't a lot of thieves in here, but there must be some around, because they made off with a whole bunch of it. I don't see where the cart was.
Oh, they took the whole cart too?
No, they must. I misspoke. They must have. I'm flustered. They must have taken a cart and loaded it up, but I didn't see any tracks heading away. I just saw a whole bunch of muddied gunk around.
Well, you could show me where it was exactly. I might be able to find some tracks. It is sort of my specialty.
At this point, could I intercede
Sure.
and ask the lady if it took a cart to steal it? How did she get it to there?
Oh, it's on a cart. It's on a wagon.
Oh, it's on a wagon. My bad.
Yeah, sorry. Well, you'll see. You'll see in just a moment. So she takes you over. I'm going to try and screen share and see how this is going to go. All right.
This is how it starts.
You're like, oh no, it's going to be a problem. This is how adventuring happens. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. I hope
And we can see it.
Okay, so you can kind of see this setup, and I can see you guys along the bottom, so I think this might work out well. So there is a cart over here. Whoops. I should probably just not show you guys any of that yet. So you're at the building. This is what I should have did. So here we have the.
I can't see it.
Hmm?
You can go ahead and still describe it because I can't really see it.
Oh yes, okay. I'll make sure to describe it for you as well. Okay. So as you come up to the wagon warehouse, you see that there is a cart, and it is about 10 feet. She didn't pull it up right next to it, so it's about 10-15 feet out from the wagon. And she goes, "Well, I put it right next to this, and it has moved since I have been here. This is outrageous." And you can see that she had a big, dirtied canvas tarp over top of the whole of the wagon. It's about an 8-foot long wagon, and the tarp sections of it have been shredded apart and busted apart, and a lot of the black gold, as she called it, these black, dark brown, chocolatey bricks of peat have been knocked out onto the ground. And you can see that there is a whole bunch of these weird circular, like a horse hoof, but if a horse hoof was completely filled in, all kind of stomped and set at different spots. So the different mounds and muck of this peat, moss, and black gold, as she calls it, is all kind of smashed into the ground. And you can see there's a whole bunch of circular like cuts, like smashed into the ground, heading towards the door. And you can see that the door has a whole bunch of mudded clay stuck to it, and it is kind of busted in and broken, as if someone has broken the side lock. Rather than lift up the gate latch and pull it up, it looks as if they just kind of smashed their way into it. Whatever is making those little circular blub blub blubs on the ground.
And I take it that let me put it this way. I have a favorite enemy for humanoids. Do I recognize those marks on the ground?
They are not a humanoid, but you would say from your expertise in favorite enemy, a humanoid, you definitely recognize that they look bipedal. Whatever smashed it up, but it doesn't look like a regular footprint. It looks more like a circular stone, and is that pushed onto these different spots.
But the door to the building is open now?
Yes, it's kind of smashed ajar.
All right. I'll slowly try and stick my head in as stealthily as I can.
Okay. Stealthily as you can, you say. Would you like to roll a stealth check then?
I think I probably should.
Hey Nate, is the door open? Like, I mean, is it smashed open, or can you see into it before you open it, or is it been shut back? It's just broken and it's shut again.
It's smashed open. It's not off its hinges, so it can be open further, but it is open wide enough that someone could slide in.
Well, based on my stealth roll, I think I may have knocked it off the hinges. I rolled a 9.
Okay.
I just want to see if I can see inside. I mean, I can see. I have dark vision, so I want to see if I can see.
Okay. You see inside, and what you see is a bunch of wagons
Okay.
with the attachments for horses, and in general, just that open area.
Okay.
Nate, would this be the same place that my empty wagon is housed?
Yes, you would have also probably stored it here. It is further down the way, past all the ones you see right here.
Okay.
What do you got? Infravision? I said infravision. You got dark vision 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What's that, 12 spots? Yeah, so as of right now, you just see a bunch of wagons.
Okay.
There is a lantern. It seems off in the corner. But as of right now, it's still kind of dark. You don't see much. Probably it's still light enough outside. If you open the door all the way, you could probably get a little extra light. This is a windowless area because people are trying to not have thieves break in and take people's wagon stuff.
Okay. I was going to ask what time it was because I wanted to know if it was not light, it was dark out or not.
Yeah, it's still light enough outside.
Okay.
That opening the door all the way would actually add light to the situation. But you see a small flickering, what could be a lantern, could be a candle off on the other side, which the station wagon house is quite large. So it's very difficult. You just see a little flicker at it. You don't know if it's a candle or a lantern off in the distance.
Got it.
Well, I'd like to try and continue going into the building and slide off to, let's see, my left as I go through the door.
Okay, you're going to slide off to the left, so towards the top of the map.
Yes.
Before he slides in, could I stop him?
Probably.
Can I cast? I guess never mind. He did the roll. I was going to cast guidance on him before he did the stealth roll. But he did the stealth roll.
Oh, I already failed that.
Yeah, my bad.
Hey, they could have rolled worse than you if anything's in there. All right, so you go and slide to the left.
Yeah, that way if I have to draw my bow, I think I have a better field of fire then.
Yeah, you could probably lean up and over a wagon area to fire at things if you needed to. So you could probably find some way to get your arrow through to something if you needed to.
But so far, I don't see any movement or hear anything.
Actually, you do hear something. You hear this clump, like lip smacking, as if a whole bunch of, you would say, if wolves were in a river and they were eating something, it would sound kind of like that. It's like watery, lip smacking, kind of gobsmacking kind of noises.
Okay, that's unsettling. I draw my bow and get an arrow notched.
All right, is anyone else following the brave wild elf in?
The brave female wild elf.
Yes.
Well, I can't let her go in by herself, and now that I'm not sitting at my table, I might as well take it out on someone. So I choose whatever's inside here causing all this problems.
Yes, but you were right. Look what it got you into, leaving the tavern. You're already into a problem.
Don't ever leave the tavern. Although, well, no, I already paid the bill. Never mind.
Gambit peeks in and sees the elf with her bow drawn and prepares himself and moves up with to join them.
All right.
snag my shield and pull out an axe and crack my neck and move forward.
I'll probably stand 10 feet away from the door and see what all the commotion is, what they're doing.
Okay.
But I won't go in.
And I'm going to go with my back against the door and just kind of keep peeking around the corner because the side of the wall seems like a good thing to have between me and whatever the heck is in there.
Okay, so you're going to go along the left where the elf has gone?
I'm staying outside against the wall and just keep peeking around the corner. And
Looking around, peeking? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going in.
All right.
Not at the moment, anyway.
As you enter, anybody with dark vision will be able to see, as you are kind of in the first 15, 20 feet section of the place, that this last wagon down here, this fourth wagon, these circular things are black blob stuff, is a very similar tarp that has again been ripped aside, and with around it you see some strange things. As some of you turn the corner and some of you looking in or enter, you can see more clearly now with the door open and the lantern light flickering off in the distance. Might have caught some hay light, so it is brighter in here now. So someone must have dropped a lantern. Extra light from the burning hay over on the stone floor is showing that in the windowless building you can see the muted forms of what you think are goblins. But if these are goblins, then they are the dirtiest ones you have ever seen. Where their flesh is visible, it is shiny. It has the sheen of wet potter's clay. Where it is rough, it looks like shovelfuls of dirt which simply dumped onto their heads and clung to wherever it stuck to. You observe all this in an instant as they go to work on shoveling blocks of these green-black bricks into their mouth, and with these clumping, gobsmacking sounds of... And you hear some of them make grunts and different noises. After they've shoved one in their mouth, they go back into the wagon for another.
Well, you said they look kind of like goblins?
Yeah, they look kind of like goblins. Pointed ears, pointed noses, kind of stout and frail. Not very chunky goblins. They're very thin.
Well, then I will say in goblin, y'all... Let me rephrase that. I don't think y'all should be going after that unless you own that. You understand what I'm saying?
With that, several of them perk up as if they've heard a noise they don't understand, like a dog that's heard somebody's, did something just say my name? And they turn around and some of them see you. Some of them sneer, and they look to have stone teeth in their mouths. And as they smile or sneer or snarl at you, pieces of the dirt and clumps fall off of them. One of the larger ones looks at you, hastily shoves the whole block into its mouth, and then grabs a big rock from the jumps down and grabs a rock from the ground, as if it's going to menace you with it. But it wanted to eat its food first.
I know fear the tonight.
Pathetic, hungry creatures they are.
Is it okay if I close the map up?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Just let me know if you need to look at it again.
Since we're in a town, per se, I'm not going to start anything unless they do, so I'm going to wait for them to make a hostile move. At least for now.
Okay.
I mean, it's dirt, for crying out loud.
Is this, can we tell if this is her wagon?
It looks like it's got a very similar style and wear to the tarp, from what you can see, as her other one. It's basically a duplicate, you would think. That she probably bought both these wagons together and have had these tarps and been filling it with dirt for however long those tarps have lasted.
She said she had two of them, so.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like enough circumstantial evidence for me. I'm supposed to be on leave. And I'll step forward a little bit. And I'm not really going to bother rolling on any sort of stealth because I have a disadvantage since I'm wearing chainmail.
The wild elf has definitely alerted them to your presence, and they're looking in the area.
And in fact, I clang my axe on my shield just in case they haven't heard so far. Try to get them to stop eating. Clang, clang.
You've got the attention of the rest of them. You see several of their heads peek out over top of the wagon side, their faces full of muck and other things.
And when you say several, how many are we talking now that I've done that?
You see a total of 8.
Oh, no. That's not so bad then.
There was 5, and then 3 more peeked their heads out of behind the wagon stall.
And hearing all this, I'll step up to the doorway. When I see it, is there like a town guard you would call for, or you just kind of fend for yourself?
You could call out for help, and it's going to kind of be whoever is showing up. I did forget to mention that when Darline saw the mess on the ground, she huffed off and went to talk to other people, so she's not here right now. She actually doesn't know you went in. But I figured I'd mention that now.
Yeah, we,
Well, so this is, okay, when we tell if there are any other exits out of here?
There is a closed gate that opens up to let wagons in and out, but that is closed and locked, and it looks closed and locked still because only cracks of light are showing from that direction.
Gotcha.
How bad is the fire from the dropped lantern?
It looks like it caught on a bit of hay that was probably used to wrap around torches and things, or to help start the lanterns when they go out. So it was just a bit of hay, but it was enough that when it caught, that it did show off more light. So you were able to see what's inside. And it's burning pretty steadily. It'll probably last a few more minutes. And it should go out. There's not really any wind here inside, and there is a section of stone floor and dirt floor over where that is. So.
Okay, so the building's not going to catch on fire.
No. The building's not going to catch on fire. Unless someone wants to throw that at the wall or something. I mean, I'm not suggesting you should do that. Just saying. So the creatures have gotten agitated with all this axe on shield nonsense and being yelled at by elves and having their food disturbed. So I suggest everybody rolls initiative. Just give me a second. I did not bring down dice, and that was my mistake.
Well, then you miss every attack.
No!
You are at extreme disadvantage.
Give me a moment. I know that's very anticlimactic, but just give me a moment. I'm going to go grab some dice.
rolled a 3, so I don't know anything.
16.
Okay, so we have somebody who has knowledge nature that has actually rolled well. Instead of a 2 and a 3 from our ranger and...
I got 18.
You got an 18? Ooh, Ben got
All
an
right,
18.
so 18 and 16. You know these things to not be dirt-covered goblins. They are creatures not of this plane,
Ooh.
and
Oh.
somehow they either were attracted to this dirt or they were smuggled along in it and popped outside of the dirt. But however it was, these you know these to be a mud mephit.
Oh, okay.
And that is, you're saying, well, you know, they don't have wings, but as you all get into the readiness of combat, you see that several of them have these, you hear these peeling sounds and slopping sounds as wings spring out from their backs, the ones that were on the cart, and they take flight.
Oh, that counts.
So that confirms they are definitely not goblins. They are, in fact, mud mephits.
Lovely.
All right, so we have done initiative. I will just quickly review that so I know where I'm falling. All right, so those are my 2. It's 8, so 4 are going to go at 18 and 4 are going to go at 15. So just please keep in mind where your initiative lies and where we're at.
So Nate, they're obviously hostile. Yes.
Yes. And did the people who understood them to be mud mephits explain anything to people?
I just heard them like do this thing and fly. That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay, they are small elemental creatures, normally up to no good. They just packed away at least 50 gold worth of mud. So, they've also caused damages. Mercantile damages.
Why would somebody pay for mud?
Hey, when you don't have good mud, good mud's hard to come by in clean cities.
I'm gonna say hit him in the head.
Okay, so anybody that got above an 18 or an 18 may go.
Okay, this is the first round of combat. I have advantage on my attack roll. You said one of them was bigger than the others?
Yes, he picked up a rock and he looked menacing at you. He seems to definitely be interested in hitting somebody with that rock for disturbing his food.
Well, I will attempt to shoot him with my longbow.
Okay.
Good that I had advantage. That would be a 22.
22 hits. Absolutely. A 22 hits. Sorry, I was on mute.
And that would be 8 damage.
All right. You hit the big one.
Yes.
Hit it in the arm, and a big giant plop sound happens as mud sprays everywhere, and there's a chunk missing out of his arm where you struck him with the arrow.
Was that the arm that was holding the big rock?
Yeah, he's kind of holding it like this, and he bent down and kind of cradling his arm a little bit where you hurt him, but you hear. And does anyone speak rock people stuff? Does anyone speak Terran?
That'd be a no.
No? How about Aquan?
Nope.
Again, let me check. No.
All right. Then that's what you heard.
So since they're earth-based creatures, they're talking dirty is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Very dirty. Bleeding dirty, talking dirty, eating dirty, all kinds of stuff.
Riding dirty.
All right, so Jeff is gone.
Yeah, and I'll just stay where I am.
All right.
I think I'm next, but I'm gonna go into the doorway and to the right. He went to the left, right? Correct.
Correct.
That is correct.
All right, I'm gonna go to the right, but I'm just gonna go around the doorway. I've got my staff out, and I'm just holding my action in case somebody comes and attacks me.
Okay, so you're going to ready yourself for when somebody comes over?
Yep.
Okay. Just keep that in mind when I come over and attack you to just remind me.
Yep, I will.
Okay. All right, next we have 18, right? Ben,
Yes.
you're up.
That's Ben.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself,
Okay.
and I'll kind of envelop in a kind of a glimmer there for a moment, and I'm just gonna fearlessly walk forward my movement speed to maybe go for methods, I should say.
Okay, so you're going to use your movement. You're going to cast Shield of Faith and then use your movement. All right, then several of them ago, the ones that are flying in the air, that sprout up wings, are going to come over and head your way. But unless you ran full tilt, they're far enough away that they're not going to make it. Even in this, it's almost like a cumbersome rock with wings. It's not very graceful. You think of most things like birds and other things, angels, Aarakocra, they're going to be graceful in flight. These are kind of bobbing and haphazardly flying, as if rocks just sprouted wings and tried to give it a go. So they are moving pretty slow for a flying creature, and they have not reached any of you. The large one is going to move forward, and it moves with that same kind of clomping. And you hear sucking sounds, as if like mud slurching. As it picks up each one of its legs and takes another step. And it is going to huck a rock at, I believe, at the half-elf. You're close enough, right? It's probably not going to hit you, but we'll see. Oh, okay. Does a 18 hit?
Which half elf?
Oh, Everin? Erevan.
Erevan, that's me.
Yes.
18 does hit.
Okay. So you take 5 damage as
Ouch.
a rock comes sailing your way.
Okay.
Ow.
That hurt. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's right. He didn't come towards you. Never mind. He wasn't close enough.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's not close enough to you. He had to throw the rock. He just doesn't go that far. All right, so anybody that goes before 15 that has not gone? I guess that's everybody has gone, right?
Gambit needs
I think we've got several people's initiatives. It's
16.
yeah. So
I'm at 14, so they're going to go before me.
okay.
Ben,
I think I acted that too early, didn't I? I think I was 16, not 18.
Okay. Well, we'll just fix that in the initiative next time. Okay, so the rest of them clump forward, but they're not even close to attacking you with anything. That was their initiative. They just moved menacingly towards you with their slurping muck sounds and strange talk in garbled mouths.
How many of them total are there?
There are 8 in total.
Well, I don't want to stand out here in the middle all by myself and get surrounded. So instead of retreating, I am going to reposition myself near Erevan to try and, because he got pummeled by that rock. So I'm going to try and, I have a shield. So if they try that again, maybe I can do something about that with the shield and prepare to repel whatever these things are,
Okay.
and hold and ready myself in case if something comes near enough for me to swing at, I will.
You expect that the speed they went, they'll be there soon.
I'm in no rush.
Okay, next on the initiative.
I guess
right.
Since none of them were close to me, but I saw the big one hit with the rock, I'll cast Sacred Flame on the big one that threw the rock.
Okay.
It's dexterity save.
It did not make it.
Good.
All right. It takes 1 point of damage. Radiant.
1 radiant. All right.
Woo!
Okay.
Woo woo.
You see a little bubble of radiant light, like poof, outside of like a glob of dirt, and it pops off of it and falls to the ground with a hiss.
I think we're now at the top of the initiative again.
Yes.
Okay, how far did they move towards us?
About 20 feet towards you.
And this building was, what, about 40 feet across?
If you don't move towards them, they're going to have an entire other round to move towards you before they're even going to... They're going to have to like move another entire round before they're going to be able to hit you.
Okay, I just try to figure out whether or not I can maneuver around them. Wait till next turn, or the end of this turn, I guess. So I will shoot again at the big one.
Okay.
And that would be a 21.
That is a hit.
And that is 4 points of damage.
All right. Another arrow sinks into him and just kind of bops as he's moving around. He doesn't seem to notice it too much, but you can tell that you're knocking pieces off of him.
As long as he doesn't start regenerating.
Yeah, there aren't pieces going back on him from what you see. So Ben, I'm just going to put you at 18 initiative to just make it easier.
Okay, so do I act before or after the first?
You can act
do
before.
I just go?
You can act
Okay,
before.
so
them,
I'd be next then. And what's the distance between me and the closest?
They're about 30 feet away. And from what you saw, they do not move very fast.
And then were there some wagons and carts still in between us?
Yeah, there are several wagons that you could duck behind if you want to cover, or if you wanted to have something in between you and them. But some of them fly, so they'll be able to fly over the wagons.
I think I want to get up on the closest wagon to them. That if I got up on right next to them, that I could still reach them to attack with.
Okay. That's going to be the second wagon in. You can make it there in one round, then you can get up on it.
All right, and if I can get a melee attack in, I'm going to try to, and if not, I'll cast Sacred Flame. Could I hit one with my pick?
Yes, you will be able to.
All right, I'm going to use my larger and heavier of my 2 picks to attack with. It's going to be a 16 to hit.
That hits.
And that's for 9 piercing damage.
All right, you bat one out of the sky. As your pick sinks right into the center of it, both of its wings flap off, and you slam it into the wagon, and pieces of it begin to bubble and sputter.
Hey, Nate, did I miss my turn? Because I'm at 20, right?
No. Oh, you must have.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's okay. All
Oh,
right.
no,
So
it's fine. All I'm doing is taking cover and still waiting for somebody, but I got to take cover because I'm really hurt.
okay. So you can duck behind a wagon and just be like, if something comes around the corner, I'm going to smack it.
Yep, exactly. So I'm just defending myself.
Okay. Ben, as you hopped up onto the wagon and slammed the pick into him and slammed it down to the ground, pieces of him fell off and plopped to the ground in muddy puddles. But what also happened is you see all the mud and muck start bubbling and boiling, and this giant splash of muck flies all over you. And
I will gather it into a glass bottle and continue.
make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw.
Okay. That was a 4.
That is a fail then. All right. The muck, once it hits you, it sticks to you and starts to harden and feel like it's very hard to move. You're restrained.
Does that take my movement away, or
Yeah, you can't do much when you're restrained.
can you do it? Can you still take an action? No, or you have to do an attempt to break free.
Every round, you'll be able to make the saving throw again until you make
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And it'll end
Yeah.
once you make it. So basically,
Okay.
once you crack yourself out of it, you'll be able to move again.
Ugh. I'll let them know that I'm hardening up. I'll just struggle a little bit. Ugh.
No.
To the 20. Right?
Yeah. So Nate, I'm taking cover. So
Okay, you're taking cover. All right.
I'm really hurt. So I'm taking cover and trying to defend myself.
Okay.
So if I can get under a wagon, these things are flying. I'll sit under there and like have my staff and be ready to knock somebody to hell in a handbasket. So
Okay. All right. So the next is the Mephits. They're going to move forward, and Kelly, one is passing by your wagon. It doesn't look like he's going to attack you, but you could probably give him a whack from under the wagon if you want to.
I'll let him go because I'm hurt. So I'm just trying to defend myself. He's not attacking me. I'm leaving to let him go.
Okay. So he is moving towards Andrew,
All right.
and he will try and slap him. And that is not going to hit you. If you're not naked, that's not hitting you.
No one wants to see that. So no.
If you had your shield, it would be enough. So yes, that doesn't hit.
I am a modest dwarf.
Yeah, one of the flying ones by the one that you struck, Ben, hits you. Does a 19 hit? Ben?
It would have if I hadn't cast Shield of Faith.
Now you're restrained. Does that do anything for me?
I don't know.
Basically, his dexterity saving throws are also a disadvantage for now.
Oh, well, that's going to make it tougher to break out of your stuff. Okay, so it has advantage on hitting you, but it missed you because of your super high armor class with your Shield of Faith. as it comes in to slam a claw onto you, it bangs off of your translucent shield that you conjured in front of you. And there is another flying one. It's going to take a whack at you. And again, the Shield of Faith prevents it as it tries to maul at you. The shield zips back and forth to protect you from those two. Okay, next initiative. Andrew. And the rest of the Mephits have come very close, but they've had to hustle and get up speed. So several of them are engaged with anybody. Let's see. There's another one on Andrew. There's another one in Kelly's area, but hasn't seen them yet. And Rick, are you in the room yet?
I was at the doorway. Getting
Okay.
ready to come.
Okay, there is one that has run towards you. And there's another one by the gnome, but he hasn't gotten into play yet. So people who don't have them in front of them is Jeff and well, Kelly, you don't have one attacking you, but it's in the area. Okay, so now it's Andrews.
All right, then. Time to go to work. Whichever one is in front of me, and time to start moving forward and swinging.
All right.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. For 9 points of damage.
You have cut off a chunk of its stomach, and it carves as if you just took a shovelful of dirt out of it, and it plops to the ground, and you hear a burbling hiss from it, but it is still there.
Oh, I was going to say I would like to quickly step away before it explodes at me. But if it's still functional, I'll stay where I'm at.
Yes, it's still functional.
All right. And there, you said there's another one, but you said there was another one by the wagon that Aravan dove under.
Yes, that's close by you.
Because I had moved over, so I don't want to position myself in terms of disadvantage, but I want to make myself more of a target for it then, so it doesn't go after Aravan.
Okay, basically you being out above the wagon area and not underneath is doing that, and you're close enough that basically you could duck down and tap Aravan. So it's kind of like there's two methods there, and there's you and him.
Okay, so I'll just keep trying to get its attention.
Okay.
The old-fashioned way. Come here and face me, you little shite. Let's go.
And it opens its mouth, and it's got some stone-looking broken teeth, and it goes.
Perhaps I spoke too soon.
All right, Rick, it is your turn. You have one that is in your face, but it has not. It ran there to get to you. So.
All right. Seeing how he got restrained when the one died, did I see that?
Yeah, you saw it pretty much explode onto him.
I'd like to mention to the group not to stand around when they die, because they do that. Try not to hit. Is there any way I can go around it, or is it like direct? There's no way before you go around it to get to Kelly to help him?
If you go around it, it most likely is going to try and latch onto you or attack you. So you could do that, but it'll probably it'll try and whack you while you go by.
All right, I guess I'll raise my shield and try to run around it to get to Kelly.
Okay. Are you going to be taking any attack actions, or are you dodging?
Dodging, I guess.
Okay, I'll let you dodge and move.
Yeah, okay, I'll dodge and move to Kelly.
Okay, it is going to attack you though, but it might not hit you. It does not hit you. As you try and go by it, it lunges for you and tries to swipe at you with its claws, but it misses.
All right. Do I make it to Kelly in my turn? And if so, can I use a spell to heal him when I get there?
Okay, so I should have said dodges your action, but you didn't need to dodge to get away from him, so I'm fine with you. So keep in mind, if you do things like dodge or hide or dash, and you're not a rogue or something like that, then it's going to take your action instead of casting a spell. So just keep that in mind for later. So I'll let you move and cast your spell on him.
All right. I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay,
Which is, I have it marked, sorry.
that's fine.
D8 plus my spell modifier. So
It'll be, I believe, your wisdom bonus at it.
7 plus 9.
Thank you.
Oh,
right.
sorry. I 10 points of health because of my Cleric of Life ability, +2.
He seems
So-
very reinvigorated.
I'm back to full. So thank you. I didn't have very many to start with.
Feels better than he ever did.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And then I'm done.
Okay. All right, top of the initiative, so that'll be Jeff.
Okay, so there's nobody within 5 feet of me, if I understand correctly.
That's correct. You've been too far away, and
Now, can I run to the far end of the building without getting within 5 feet of any of them?
yes, that's correct. You could do that.
Then I will move 35 feet to the far end of the building so that they're trying to increase the distance to them.
Yeah, they won't be able to make it to you in one round.
And then I will shoot at the big guy again.
Okay.
And that's only a 10.
Oh, you got a 10 total?
Yes.
That'll still hit.
Oh,
Wow.
They're really bad armor class.
so that is 5.
All right, as you hit him, you strike him in the back, straight in the back, where his arms and his neck connect, and his arms slop off to the ground, and giant plops, and his head falls over backwards and lands with a thud, like wet clay, and he begins to bubble and shake and explodes in a radius around where he was, with a giant. And some of you are hit with little tiny flecks, but not enough to stick you and your place.
That mud rather than blood, that's just wrong.
Okay, Ereven, you're up.
Question, Nate. Since I'm like under a wagon and these methods are like around, is there one of the ones that are on the ground, or are these both the flying ones that are on these other two that are around me?
There are 3 more on the ground and 4 in the air.
I mean,
wait,
but the
3
ones
in
that
air,
are
because one's dead.
the 2 that are right next to me, are they on the ground or in the air?
They're on the ground. Sorry, there's 3 on the ground and 3 in the air now.
Okay. So, different question, because Kelly doesn't know. If I do poison spray, is it noticeable? If I'm underneath there and I reach out to their leg and do poison spray, is it noticeable?
They'll know that they got hit with something. They might
No,
just not...
I meant for the rest of the group, not for them. I don't care about them.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Remember,
I guess.
I'm trying to keep it a secret, so that's why I'm asking.
Oh, you're pretty close, and you're going to be hitting the one that isn't being targeted right now, so
Right.
there's probably not any way people are going to be looking at you. I mean, the bard might see it.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to... Can I roll deception to try to not let them anybody see it?
Go right ahead, yeah.
All right. So my deception is +6. 21. So I think
Okay.
I just hopefully that would work. And then I'm gonna cast poison spray.
Right.
And go ahead.
Bard, are you proficient in insight?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
But
then you didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. So you hit it with poison spray, and
They have to do a Constitution check, Constitution save.
yeah, it just kind of splatters against them and gives a nice kind of green shine to their mud.
Okay, it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
You're thinking that perhaps since these are made of the mud, they probably don't have a constitution that would be harmed, as in
Gotcha.
a health that would be harmed by something like, I mean, heck, they were eating black peat mud. Who knows what's in that
Understood.
stuff?
It's new. These are new things to me. So
That's fine. But yeah, you kind of think, these probably aren't getting hurt by this now that I see what happened to it. It kind of
Okay.
just added a nice green sheen to it.
okay, got it. That's my action.
Okay, Ben? You can roll with disadvantage, sadly, but you can roll a DC 11 dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
I'm gonna take disadvantage. So first roll is 14 and 11. I
Okay,
think I made it with
Meet it means you beat it. So you had disadvantage, and your lowest was 11, so you did win.
Lowest was 11. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So you wiggle just right and start cracking some of the mud pieces off, and you can kind of wriggle your way out of it. I will let you move and attack if you'd like.
How many are close by right now?
There are 2 that have been swinging at you from the last round. They're the flying ones.
Although it didn't work so well the last time, I'm still going to continue to engage them with my weapon, I believe. And that's a 6
That's not going to hit.
to hit.
They're easy to hit. They're not that easy to hit.
I will spend my movement to hop down off of this wagon and hop down to the next one.
Okay. They're going to swing at you, and they will miss.
Okay.
So you dodge underneath their blows and tuck under next to the wagon.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. The 2, they're going to try and follow you, Ben, and attack. And they are scraping and mucking up the area with their muddied claws, but they can't seem to get to you.
I'll tuck behind my tortoise shield.
Yeah. And Sean, you're getting attacked, but again, it's just kind of your shield. You're easily blocking them. They're worse than goblins at this. It's like they've never tried to hit anything before.
For pity's sake.
And Bard, the one that you passed by, it has trailed you and come up behind you. But you can feel it kind of get dirt on your chain, on your armor and things, but it hasn't found purchase anywhere to grip into you and claw you. But you are definitely soiled from this experience.
I'm probably going to cringe a little bit.
And yeah, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and turn around since he's under the wagon and face the one coming at me. You said Ben had come to the wagon, said he came to the wagon as well?
There's several wagons in that group. Ben was on the second one, and he ducked down off of the wagon he was on. And Erevan was underneath, I think he still is, underneath the first wagon.
Yep.
On that side. So everybody's kind of close by. You're all kind of mixed and mingled in this kind of 15-foot area. And
All right.
the last flying one is going to be heading towards Silverthorn. But it though it picked up the pace, it's certainly not there yet.
All right. I'm not too worried about the archer. I guess I'll go ahead and face the one coming at me and cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. It failed its save, so you can roll damage.
I rolled a 6. I have a question. Do I add anything to that, or is it just the 6 straight damage?
When you do... Sacred Flame is you target somebody and they make a save, and they're damaged if they don't make a save. So you rolled 6 for damage, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you don't add anything for Sacred Flame. It's just radiant damage. Later on, there's things that can augment that, but based on...
Sacred Flame is D8, by the way, if that's what he's rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes a large chunk of it kind of blisters and pops with a flash of light, spattering more of its muck around.
I'll kind of back away from it, leading towards the wagon then.
All right. Okay, it is... Ricky kind of went out of turn. It's Sean's turn.
That's okay. What he did won't affect what I'm going to do.
Okay, great.
So are there still 2 of them near me?
Yes.
Okay. And the one's wounded, and the one is probably, I don't think is. Got to finish off the wounded one.
Okay.
19
That will hit.
for 4 points of damage.
Okay, for 4?
Yep.
All right, you cut another little piece off of it, but it does seem to be pretty tough. And it It doesn't seem to affect it by missing bits of itself.
That's just weird.
All right, it's going to be top of the initiative.
Okay, and you said there's one flying towards me now?
Yes, there is.
Well, I will attempt to shoot it. And that's a 13
That will hit.
for 7 points of damage.
Ooh, nice.
Your arrow sinks into its shoulder, and it looks like it flies even more awkwardly than it did before, and it's still coming your way.
I don't suppose I could back up any further without hitting the opposite wall, hitting the wall of the building.
The sad thing is these guys are kind of slow even when they try and move towards you. You think that if you go, it'll catch you this next turn, but it'll probably have to race to get to you.
Okay, I'll back up then.
Okay.
I could work for it.
All right. So you're kind of zigzagging around the outer outskirts of the wagon area,
Mhm.
and it's trying to very ungracefully fly your way.
It's a dirt eater. It can't do anything gracefully.
Very ungracefully. All right, Erevan, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm underneath the wagon, so I can't really swing a quarterstaff. So I'm gonna can I pull my light crossbow and use it or not? If not, I'll throw my daggers. So you tell me which is
it's
better.
kind of tight down there. It'd be you could probably shuffle it around, but you're gonna have to drop your staff to do it.
Of course, but
you like
it's not doing me much good at the moment anyway. So
okay, so
I'll drop my staff.
You roll onto your back and you kind of situate your crossbow off your back and aim it towards one of the legs and
Yep. All right. 24.
That's a hit.
And I got 6 points of damage.
All right. It sinks right into its leg, and with a pop, part of its leg falls off, and it stumbles around a bit, lopsided. All right, Ben, you're up.
Oh, can I reload my crossbow?
Yeah, you can.
Sorry.
You can begin to reload it.
All right.
It's a pretty difficult thing to do under the wagon.
No, understood. Just checking. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to take aim at one of the ones currently attacking me. And I'm going to swing at it once more with my pick and try to embed it in its leg or something along those lines.
Okay,
16 to hit.
that'll hit.
8 piercing.
All right, you have struck off a piece of its body. It flails around and flies without the use of one of its legs, and a bunch of mud and stuff slops off of it from the strike.
I'll stay where I am because there's still one more adjacent to me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm just going to stay where I am.
All right, the Mephits will attack, and they claw at you some more, Ben, but they can't find any purchase through your armor and shields area and your magic shield. Sean, they attack you. Does a 18 hit?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Go ahead. Hit the fighter. Go ahead.
All right,
Nate finally hit something.
you take 4 damage as it claws at you.
Thank you.
The one that's by Erevan, but also by you, Sean, looks like it's kind of reeling back its head and just opens its mouth really wide and does like this weird belch and splatters all this torrent of mud over you. And at the same time, Bard, the one that you turned to face that messed up your back armor bits, also does a similar kind of weird, as if it's like choking on something, and then it retches a torrent of viscous mud over you. So both of you can make a dex saving throw.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Dwarven trapeze artist, right?
we're not supposed to talk about that, but yeah.
I rolled a 1 with modifier.
Nice.
Wow. 18.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Yeah. Wait, here we go. Let's see, let me see if I can do this. Wait, which way? Here we go.
yeah,
Yes,
we see it.
See it.
Hey!
So
That's an amazing occurrence with Sean. So
you saw it and you said, I don't know what it's going to do, but I don't like the idea of it doing that at me. And you quickly lift your shield up and it splatters all over your shield onto the ground.
That's why we carry them.
Rich, Bard, you are so agonized over the idea of it possibly vomiting on you that you kind of went like, which way should I go? And all over you. And it instantly becomes sticky and hard and latches onto your different body parts, freezing you and making it hard for you to move around. It's definitely made it difficult. It doesn't freeze you like ice, but it makes every movement a struggle.
So I can definitely make it to the fetal position.
Yes, you could, and you could also still cast spells. But yes, you could make it to the fetal position with ease. Getting back out of it might be a little bit of prying and cleaning, but
wow.
And the last flying one that is unoccupied is continuing to go after Silverthorn, and it has flapped its ugly little wings as hard as it possibly could, and it has finally reached you, and it looks like it is ready to attack. And now it is initiative 14.
Well, what do you know? I'm going to finally try and finish off this thing that won't die.
You're still aimed downwards with your camera, by the
Yeah,
way.
your camera is still aimed down.
Oh, look at that. So sparkles.
Well, he's a dwarf. The stomach is the prime area.
It's my shield. All right. I'll fix that in a second here.
Okay.
First things first. 12.
That will hit.
Take it and like it for 9 points of damage.
Yay.
All right. Your strike has cleaved it, and it flops apart into two big puddles. And those puddles quickly bubble and hiss and burst all over everybody in the area.
That includes me.
Bard, make another dex saving throw as more muck flings towards you from an exploding thing, as well as Sean and Everin.
Yep.
Erevin.
It's deck save, right?
Dex save DC 11.
Oh, man.
I rolled another 2, so with modifier, I got a 1 again.
I'm sorry. So, more viscous, blobby gunk that's sizzly and bubbling splashes all over your back. You are now pretty much coated evenly, like some kind of chocolate confectionery.
Look on the bright side. This is a farming community. They might not have been dirt eaters. They could have been eating something else.
Nate, I failed. I rolled a 2. I got a 6, but I failed.
All right. Well, as you're loading your crossbow, a big pop bang, you hear from over top of your head as you get splattered with a whole bunch of viscous gunk, and your crossbow is all gunked up, and you're all gunked up, and you're sticking to it, and it's sticking to you.
Got it. So I'm restrained, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely.
And
I got an 11 on the dot, so
okay, well, beat. What is it? Make it, beat it. So you're good.
yay.
All right.
Wow. I hate these things. I want to mention that.
Bard, it's your turn.
I'm pretty much frozen solid at this point, quivering.
Well, you could still act. I mean, you should enact vengeance on these things, shouldn't you? There's one right in front of you.
Yeah.
Now you've done it. You've made him angry.
Do I have any kind of movement impairment on me? Do I have to like make any kind of Constitution save to move or do anything, or can I just smack it?
Hold on, I'll look it up.
Now the speed is 0.
Oh, speed is 0. Oh, I've misheard that. Yes. So your speed is 0, so you can't move anywhere else. You can do stuff. You can cast spells. You can attack, from what I understand, but you can't.
Right.
And also, you still have the chance to make your dexterity save to get out of it, don't you?
Yes. Oh, on your turn now, you can make a dex save for both of those, but they're with disadvantage.
All right. I'm gonna cast guidance on myself for dexterity.
Okay.
I got a 4, so I'm at 12 so plus 1. Do I just roll d20 for the dexterity?
Yeah, for the dex, you roll 2 because you're with disadvantage.
And you take the lowest one. Sorry, that's your job, Nate. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
What's your dex modifier?
I got a 7.
All right, that would not be passing.
So I guess that's my turn.
No, you can still attack.
Well, I used my action to cast guidance. It's a cantrip.
Yeah, he wanted to break out of it, but he didn't make it. So you are quite stuck. All right, top of the order.
So, looks like the other people are having trouble with these things, and there's one right next to me.
Yes. And by now you've seen what happens when one of these gets hit.
And try to remember, if he's in melee range, am I at disadvantage with a bow?
Yes, unless you have certain feats, which you don't have.
Yeah, not yet. But I've hit this thing twice so far, as I recall.
Yes. Well, you've hit this
All right.
one. You've hit this one, yes. You killed the, 2 rounds ago, you killed the big one, right?
I've hit this one at least once. Let's see.
Yeah,
I hit the big
one.
one 3 times.
Yeah, you hit this one once.
Okay. I think I'll just sit here and shoot at it for this turn. Because we need to get these things down.
Are you going to try and move away from it to shoot?
It'll give... Well, they haven't been hitting very often, now that you mention it. Yeah, I'll try and move away, full movement if I can to get far away.
Okay, well, it wasn't ready for you to do that, so as it swings at you as you try and get away, it misses.
Cool.
Catches
then I'm not
nothing
at
but air.
Then I'm not at disadvantage to shoot it.
That is correct.
But I rolled a natural 1. So that would be a 6.
Oh, just to remind everybody, you do have, everybody starts with an inspiration. And you can use that as the special role that we have, that you can use it to buy kind of like common mundane items and say, oh, I already had this. But you can also use it to gain a extra die roll on any d20 roll.
I don't think I need that just yet.
Okay.
So like a once per session kind of thing? Or?
You can also gain them from things like if you defeated a big monster or did something extraordinary, you can also gain them. All right, so you shot at it. The hour goes wide, and it's going to come in at you soon.
And I'm as far away from any of them as I can be.
Okay. You're just making the route. You're actually almost by everybody again. But you're down at like the lower end of the wagon area.
If these people, if my comrades weren't making these bloody or muddy messes on the floor, I mean, the footing must be getting treacherous.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go run by where they are right now. It's pretty ugly. All right, Erevan?
Yeah, first of all, I'm gonna try to get out. I just get a saving throw to get out, right? I don't have to do anything to do that.
Yeah, it's a saving throw.
All right.
And Jeff, is it
natural 20?
Oh well, yeah, that's good. Jeff, was
Sorry.
it disadvantage on ability checks or saves?
It says disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay,
I'll
specifically.
do the other one,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah,
I
so
gotta do another one. So I got the other one was the 11. So
Oh.
I still made it.
you meet it, so you beat it. Yep. All right, so you
all right.
crack off some of it and scrape off some of it, so you can move now if you'd like.
Is my crossbow usable, or do I have to use something else?
You could probably use it.
All right. Well, then I'm going to shoot this thing that's in front of me. So.
Okay.
It's 19
That'll hit.
and 7 points of damage.
All right, you shoot its other leg out from under it, and it flops over, and with a giant, it explodes.
Oh, here we go again. Dex save.
So Rick, Bard, Sean, and Ervin make a dex save.
I made this one. 14.
All right, you.
Moridanes beard. 14 then.
Disadvantage if we're restrained, right?
Yes, you're at disadvantage.
Yeah, you're. I'm sorry, Rick.
I guess I actually did all right.
Oh, did you make an 11?
12, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Being
Well,
in the
then.
fetal position helped you.
Yeah, it just went right over you. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Do these things blow up instantly, or do people have a chance to attack and then move?
I will let you know in just a moment.
That's a good question because I could have moved.
When it dies, it explodes.
Oh, well, never mind.
Doesn't say it explodes immediately.
There's just a comma. That's how immediate it is. There's a comma in between when it dies, comma, it explodes.
We all lose. That's what it is. All right.
Okay, I believe it is it Ben's, or are where are we at on the order?
I think it's Ben.
Ervin just went, so.
Yeah, I just went, so I
Okay,
think it's Ben.
Has Gambit noticed Bard's predicament with them being completely caked?
Yeah, you have definitely seen that, and thankfully you were just out of the area of those blasts, and you had some cover.
I'm still preoccupied with one.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes, now there is only the one that retched onto Bard, and there is only one that's flying that's by you, and there's only one that's flying after the wild elf.
I'm going to forget about this one right now and make my way over to Bard, so I'll likely take an opportunity attack.
Okay. Well, as you try and leave, it'll swing at you.
Are they within 5 feet of me as he's trying to move around?
No, they're on the other side of the wagon. They're on the next. They're in the next wagon area.
Okay.
I'm going to get over and try to help Bard and try to use my full turn to dig and take as much of the mud and pry it off as I can.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll allow him to make another save then. Without just regular. You don't need without disadvantage. Maybe he'll get the rest of it off.
Okay.
Bard, you want to make another dex save? Just regular?
Yeah, I got that 2 again, so a 1 higher.
Wow. You start trying to take it off of him, and there's just like more underneath, and it's like sticking to your hands, and you're like flicking it off.
It's layered. It's layered.
I'll keep working away at it, okay?
Now we know why he's a germaphobe.
He's gonna need a lot of alcohol after this. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying? Somebody was saying something?
I just said if he wasn't a germaphobe before.
Yeah. This is the cleanest mud. This is the best mud.
You rolled all together.
It's a great exfoliant.
All right, so that is Ben. So the one that is by Bard and Gambit, I will say your name, remember it, is attacking, but he misses. He just kind of mucks up Bard some more, but he does not get any purchase through his armor. The one that you left behind has come up behind you and flown at you, Gambit, but again misses. I don't even know what it was swinging at. It just completely, it like zigged your way, but you were. It must have thought you were going to try and dodge and tried to cut you off. And Silverthorn, the flying one that's coming towards you, has gotten to you again, but it did not attack. It tried its best to get into contact with you, and it's in your face. Then that's the round. There's 3 left. Anybody that needs to make their saves can attempt their saves. Anybody that wants to do attacks can do attacks.
So there's
Okay.
now one between me and between Gambit.
Yes, there's one close by you. You could probably take a 5-foot step and hit it.
All right, and will I have advantage if Gambit is on the other side?
They don't have flanking rules, but yeah, it's definitely preoccupied.
Because I thought you got advantage if someone else was within 5 feet of the enemy and was threatening and wasn't at disadvantage and all that. But maybe I didn't read it right.
Well, he's currently helping Bard get cleaned off.
So he's not really threatening.
He's not really threatening.
Okay. 12.
That will hit.
Cleave. 11 points of damage.
Ooh, baby.
All right. You strike it right out of the air, cut it in 2. Its wings flop into the ground, plop plop, and
And
yet,
what did he say?
And I quickly dodge.
and
I do. Quickly dodge.
another blasting sound of mud and muck
Oh my
flies
God, I gotta
everywhere.
Save again. Oh my God.
I
rolled
didn't,
a 1.
I didn't know these monsters were going to be this fun.
That sucks. I have an 18 dex and I just rolled a 1 twice. This sucks.
All right, Gambit, you can also roll again.
Oh, did I get hit that time? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he's right there. The one that was clawing at your back exploded.
It's a 12. It's a 12.
All right, you made it.
I got a 12 as well.
Rick gets more layers.
And
He's gonna get you food.
You get like 4 layers on me.
Bart gets to see if he gets more layers.
And now there's just the 2. There is one in front of Bard, and there is one in front of Silverthorn. Aravan, you can go if you'd like.
I'm gonna shoot the stupid thing again. Whatever one I can shoot.
All right.
I hit. Got 6 points of damage.
All right. That was going to be the one. You kind of have to really get a strange angle. Did you roll with disadvantage? Because you have that from being.
I didn't.
You
I
failed
didn't.
your
Hold
save,
on.
right? You did fail your
No.
save.
I did. Hold on.
Okay.
I missed.
It shoots wide.
And well, actually, no. Does a 10 hit?
Yeah, 10 will hit.
Okay, then I did hit. Sorry, I rolled a 4 plus 6 for my my attack. So
Okay.
I got 5 points of damage. Sorry.
All right. That one, you hit it right in the stomach, and it pops a big hole out the back of it, and it falls over, and bubbles and hisses and bursts all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Am I close enough to have to save again?
No, it's on.
Okay.
Bard's going to take probably the full blast of this. Actually, Gambit is also going to get side muck blasted onto him, so Gambit can also make a save.
That's 20.
All right, you made it.
What about Bard? Did you make it, Rick?
Natural 1.
Okay, are you using the same die for all of these rolls? If you are,
Only have 2 die. Same one that keeps you in the bad number.
if you are rolling the same die every time, then throw it away, burn it, save us all and destroy that die.
Can I? Is it that we're on issue 21 yet?
Yeah, you can go, Andrew. Oh wait. Yes, you can go.
Okay. Well, I continue. I figured I was going around the barn one way, but I'm heading towards a disaster area.
Yes, it's getting pretty mucky over there.
So I want to run away back the other way, the way I came, even though I know he can get me a free attack on me.
Yep. Okay. He'll swing at you again, and he will miss.
Nate, Jeff,
Yes?
I didn't go.
Oh, okay.
I just got stuff.
Okay. Sorry.
Is there still one in front of me, or is that the last one that just
No,
exploded?
they've all exploded over you. You're fine.
So there's only the one chasing Jeff around the barn?
Yep, there's just that one.
And I really prefer that you not kill it next to me.
The universe must have balance, Bard.
With my action, I'm going to action, I think is how you do this. With my action, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at it.
Okay. It actually made its dex save, so you don't do any damage to it. One of the highest
He
rolls
gets,
I
he
made
gets
on
to
there.
save, though, first and try to get out, right?
And you can make
Yeah,
your saves
he
to
has
get
to
out,
make
yes.
the dexterity save.
Yep, you can make you can
No,
get
but
your
you
save.
get a save to get out of the muck.
I got a 4.
Yeah, okay.
And I
Sorry.
used a different die.
Burn the dice. Melt it down on the torch. Do it now. Save us all.
Did he make his deck save, Nate?
It did make its dex save, yes.
Nate, you're on mute. Nate, you are on mute.
Thanks for letting me know. Yes, it did make its dex save. It got an 18.
Ooh.
So it can't hit for anything, but it definitely made that save. So Silverthorn, you said you were backing away. It attacked you. It missed, so you can attack it.
Okay. Well, at this point, I should be able to get full 35 away without having to worry about any of those other ones.
That's correct.
And that was an 11 to hit.
You did hit it.
6 points of damage.
You strike it with an arrow right through the eye. Its headpiece pops off the side and splatters, and as it's tumbling to the ground, it explodes all over the place in a 5-foot area around the area. But you have been backed off enough that you have definitely escaped the blast. So, as the last one pops, you notice the black, green, mossy kind of look to the different dirts that they ate, and the different black gold, as Darline called it, are all over the place. For all the action that happened, it was not even a minute has passed since you guys have looked at the door and walked in. And surveying the scene, most of you are mostly covered with dirt and grime and muck. The only clean source of people in this area is Silverthorn, who has maybe a fleck or so on some of her buckskin.
Did these things leave bodies, or did they just collapse into dirt?
You can go inspect them, but it looks like a splatted a piece of dirt.
So no one's going to believe us when we tell them that we fought monsters.
It looks like you guys just had a mud fight, technically. I mean, if you think about it. No witnesses.
I made my save. All my shield is dirty.
So, yeah, there's not really any bodies. There's just clumps of mud and dirt and sprays of it everywhere. As if a whole group of rowdy children took a whole bunch of mud pies and threw them at each other. Which is what it suspiciously looks like adult men and women did just recently.
I'm assuming the only clean part of me is my eyes that must look like they're screaming. I'm going to ask if someone has a towel I could borrow.
I think you're going to need more than a towel. Is there any magics that anybody possesses that can clean?
Prestidigitation would, but I don't have it.
I'm fresh out.
Oh, Bard, you didn't take prestidigitation?
I'm studying it. I'm hoping to learn it soon.
Oh, boy. That would come in real handy right now.
There's a horse trough somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, it could fit one of you at a time.
Using my Outlander's skill, my knowledge of geography, is there a stream nearby?
There is a stream, and there's also a bathroom, a room that contains an area where people bathe in the inn. But they would probably tell you should go wash in the stream before you show up.
I will direct people to the nearest stream.
Okay, does anyone want to check out the room or do anything in the room besides that?
I would.
Okay.
I'd like to cast Detect Magic.
All right. You see that there are several carts where there is stuff that glows, but you also know that this is a merchant warehouse, so this is all private property people own.
Right.
But yeah, you do see stuff glow. You also see in the kind of leftovers of muck from the explosion that was in front of you, there is a hint of glowing coming from one of the piles of muck.
I'll point that out to the group and suggest somebody dig through it and look at it.
Yeah, he doesn't want
Definitely
to
do
do
it.
it.
So,
I'm afraid I'll get too much muck on it to actually find it. I have too much on me right now.
I'll definitely search to see what it is.
Okay, so Bard directs you to the area, and as you kind of move the gunk and mud around, you do see something catch your eye. It is a disc with a strap attached to it, and as he picks that up out of the muck, you can see it more clearly. It is a circle, pretty dirty crystal disc, and it has a whole bunch of threads wrapped around it and wrapped into it like a cord-like fashion. Like maybe you could strap it around your wrist or wear it as a necklace.
Would I know what it is, like Arcana or History?
You'd probably have to study it further, and you'd have to study it clean, because there's too much. It could have writing on it that you can't see because of how dirty it is.
Then I'm going to suggest we go clean up in the stream.
Okay.
I'd like to try and retrieve some arrows if there's any intact.
Okay. Could you roll a check for that, Silverthorn?
I was going to say the same thing for my bolts. So
What do
Okay.
you want me to roll?
Just roll a d20.
17.
All right. You find all but one of your arrows. One of them broke against the wall when it struck, and you also find, as you're digging through some of the muck, you also find one of these stranded pieces with another one of those crystal discs, but the disc section of it's cracked out, as if it's been broken.
All right, I'll take my water skin, wash off any dirt, then pick it up.
Okay. And it's definitely it looks like it should have been a whole crystal disc, but there is a crack running along it, and there are pieces missing from that crack, as if it was like partially shattered against a hard object or hit with a sword or something like that, of that nature. But
Once our magically inclined people finish washing themselves, I'll show them it to them.
okay, so you guys search. You got your bolts. You've got your arrows, and you also found another one of these crystal discs.
I just wanted to check and make sure that my wagon was safe and secure before we leave.
Yes, your wagon is off towards the long.
It's back in the cheap section.
Yes, and it's also empty, right?
Yeah, it just has my personal stuff in it.
Yeah, so you check. There's nothing missing, nothing out of the ordinary. Everything's where it should be.
All right, good enough.
Okay.
I'd like to quickly investigate the Darlinge's wagon as well, the one that they burst out of.
You investigating the one that they were eating stuff out of?
That's right.
Okay. You find there are still a good amount, probably half of the black gold is still there, and you find in some of the dirt and things as you kind of sweep it around that there is another one of those crystal medallions, but there is a crack in it as well.
I'd like to go see her afterward down here.
When we investigate, does it look like they were feeding on it, or they grew out of it and then started eating it?
That you're not really sure. Maybe they went along for the ride. Maybe they decided it looked good and came from the forest somewhere. But you didn't see the tracks come from anywhere, and these things look like they're pretty much muddy all the time. So you would think that you would have seen tracks come from someplace to go to the wagon and then come inside the wagon area.
Oh, I almost forgot. Put out the fire.
Okay, you extinguish the fire. You didn't notice this before, but tucked behind in a corner is a muddied, unconscious figure. Behind some other pieces of hay, there's a muddy, unconscious figure.
Oh, well, since everyone else is, well, I don't know if they've left the barn yet or not, but I'll head over towards the unconscious figure.
Okay. It looks like a young boy, probably a stable hand. Looks like they've been pretty banged up, but they don't look like they're bleeding out or dying.
I try to use my medicine skill to, help them or whatever.
Okay.
Not very good. 13.
All right. You have patched them up a little bit. They seem like they just got bumped and bruised, probably got vomited on, and they might be where the source from the lantern was in the first place. They're still definitely groggy and not really responsive, but they're breathing okay enough that you think that they'll be all right.
And I'll stay with them until somebody else shows up.
Speaking of somebody else showing up, as you have collected your things and kind of looked around, it's been only about a minute or so since you've entered into this combat and fight and everything, and just took a moment or so to look around. Darline comes back. You see her enter the doorway. She looks around. What in the world has gone on with all this? That concludes part 1 of episode 1 for Hold of the Moridanes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay nerdy.